as we know, there are known knowns. There are things we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there's some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know, we don't know.
Could somebody please tell me what the fuck is going on? Yes. It's Boxing Talk with Rafi. What are we on? Where are we?
We also know there are known
Damn.
unknowns.
Unexpected sound check. That's all good. That's the penguin laugh. Let me just extend. Let me just extend the sound check. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm coming over nice and clearly. It's Boxing Talk. Yep, that's clear enough. Okay, so let me have a check. Let's check the description box. The description box is populated. For all those who don't know, for those who don't know, all those who have not been here before, you are in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi 97. That's not 97 live shows. That's specifically 97 Boxing Talk with Rafi's weekend shows. Remember when we used to do the weekend shows? The weekend shows, they're not included. So I guess by now we're probably looking at like what? 150. About 150 live shows. I don't know for sure, but I'll do the tally and come back and find out exactly how many live shows we have done. As a matter of fact, let me just do that right now. Let me go into YouTube's back DAO and go into my live section, and it should be able to tell me how many live shows I've done. Well, it's 30 per page, so that's one page. That's 2 pages. 3 pages, 90. 4 pages, what's that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 120. 150. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 155 live shows. So we're moving on. Good things. When you get stuck into something, when you get stuck into a project and just plow away. Okay, so what we got going on here? We got Monique in the building for the first time in a long time. Good to see you in the area, Monique. Smash that like button, folks. That's good advice from the Monique. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't be afraid to tickle the PayPal button. Marla up in the building. South Croy says, who did not get a chance to unify? If you haven't seen that video, check it out after the show. I'll probably touch on that again I will touch on that during the show. It's in the title. Play the soundbite during the show. That's something we're going to chop up. That's one of the topics to chop up. More than a few occasions. We're going to run through those occasions. Take Ames up in the building. Let me drop that. Let me drop that link for everybody who wants to join in. They can jump in. Boom, boom, boom. Abracadabra. It is there. What's my prediction? We're going to go into that. We're going to touch on that. We did that in the last show, but we're going to tickle that again in this show because I watched the fight again Didn't intend to, but I was scrolling through YouTube last night after work, and up pops Wilder Fury won without audio, without commentary. So all you could hear was the punches, the referee, and the sounds of the crowd. Marla is in the building. Marla, how you doing, mate?
How's it going, man?
Yeah. It's good, man. It's good. You know, just banging them out, just banging it out for the people. Another boxing talk with Rafi. It was Netflix and chill, or boxing talk with Rafi. And you know, the easy way is often the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? The easy road is often the wrong road. It's been easy to Netflix and chill, but can't disappoint the people. There's news out there which needs to be disseminated. And that's what we do over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio on Boxing Talk with Rafi. Okay, so the link is in the chat for those who wish to join. And I think, what is it now? What we're looking at? We're looking at, yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is, or do I not? Let me just check this here. Marla. Uno momento. Factually, do we start with, yeah, I think I know exactly where I'm going to start. That was one day ago, so we didn't cover that on the live show, so that's a good place to start. Okay, so boom, hold up. We're going to start off with a warm-in video. That's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with a warm-in video. So let me share my screen. Where's the warm-in video? Oh, there it is. Okay. So let me share this. Screen share. Boom. 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 Okay, let's kill that. Get the volume up and commence.
Yes. Mr. Raphael Dawkins is the Combat Radio. And today we're looking at Tyson Fury's statement regarding trilogy between he and Deontay Wilder. Okay, so Tyson Fury has confirmed he will do battle with Deontay Wilder for a third time after their heavyweight rematch in Las Vegas this Saturday, 22nd of February, where Wilder will put his WBC title on the line against versus Tyson Fury's lineal, what we call that? Lineal position. Okay, so there we have it. That's the title. Money is too big. The money's too big not to have a well, they're not talking just the trilogy clause. They're talking about the reality of the trilogy. As we know, the loser gets to invoke the trilogy clause. The loser says, yep. The loser signs the contract for the trilogy, then it's on like Donkey Kong. And that fight is likely to take place. The trilogy fight is likely to take place in June. Okay. Fury says an agreement is in place for the final part of the trilogy, regardless of the outcome of the second fight. Either boxer can exercise the immediate trilogy clause, with the third fight likely coming down on a date in June, according to Fury's promoter, Frank Warren. I think the money's too big not to have it, Fury told Sky Sports. This is the prize fighting game, and there's too much money in the pot for him not to want the rematch, even if he loses. Referring to the bronze bomber Wilder. Okay. Asked if he would take a third fight, asked if he would like a third fight. Fury said, I don't lose. Hey, Fury and the old chum. Everybody loses sometime. I don't lose. I'll be having a rematch either way. All I do is win, unless I get a draw. Anthony Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn wants whoever comes out on top this weekend to commit to facing the Unify champion. We've put the pressure on. We put the pressure on the winner to finally get our fight in 2020, Hearn told Sky Sports. We will have a conversation and say, are you doing a third fight? If so, could you do it quickly, please? Okay, so going back, I'm referring to the Sky Sports interview, which Tyson Fury did. When asked about the third fight, he said, when asked if he'd take the third fight, he said, well, third fight, yeah, the money's there. There's too much money to walk away. That could be a fourth fight and a fifth fight, so long as the money's there. So, like I've been saying for the longest time, it's clear to me that not only does Deontay Wilder, not only is Deontay Wilder not showing any much enthusiasm for a Joshua fight, but the same applies to Tyson Fury. Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua himself have said that Tyson Fury would be quicker to take a unification bout for all the marbles of the heavyweight division. But I think if that is the case, it's only just, it's very marginal. I put it to you that Tyson Fury is in no more of a hurry to make a unification fight with Joshua than Deontay Wilder. Neither party seems over-enthused. For whatever reason, neither party is in a rush. Neither Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury is in a rush to get their hands on all the belts. It's a very, very peculiar situation. It's hard to understand, hard to imagine, hard to fathom why neither of these guys seem to want it. It's very perplexing, highly perplexing. It boggles the mind why neither Fury or Wilder appear to have much of a desire, any overwhelming desire to get their hands on all the belts and become the not unified, the undisputed champion. So what say you? Have your say. It's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it's the hitting the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. And don't forget about the live shows, Mondays and Wednesdays, 9:55 p.m. UK time. It's Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, and I'm out.
Okay, so that was the warming video. Let me drop the link back in the chat. Okay, and I'm ready for FaceTime. Let's get some uplighting going. And let us commence. The question is, where do we begin? Let me start off with the roll call. And I think I want to touch on something that might be going down right about now. Okay. Yeah, predictions. We're going to get to predictions. South Croy. Take Ames up in the building. What else we got? The last king of Scotland. Yes. Big boys boxing in the house. Oh dear, what's going on there? I don't know. What have I missed? Let me scroll back. I don't know what I've missed. But anyway, as we proceed, Tyson winding up Deontay again. Will Deontay get over emotional in the ring again because of it? Yeah, I doubt it. Once bitten, twice shy. You know what I'm saying? Trick me once, shame on you. Trick me twice, shame on me. Let me have a look. What's going down? Presser was pretty funny. We're going to touch on that. Let me have a look. Let me see that over in the YouTube thing. Where is that? I just saw that. Let me go. Let me scroll down. Where is that? Yep. Join me in 5 Excellente. Did you post something, big boys, and then retract it? Did you post something? Let me close that down. Close that. Boom. What is that? What is that thing? Oops. Continue. Okay. Right. Let me continue to scroll down because I can't see that. I think it's been retracted. What's that? Fury by UD. Okay. I would not want to watch these two. Wilder just taking on good competition after 11 years in the game, stepping up after 38 fights. I would not pay. Okay, I got you. I'll be buying this 25 pounds is sweet FA for a fight like this. That's King of Scotland is feeling it. Damn, chat's on fire already. I can't wait for this fight. It's going to be just like the first one, just like the first time. There's a huge American conspiracy against Hearn and Anthony Joshua. Damn. If this fight doesn't get you going, you don't like boxing, mate, says the last King of Scotland. Damn. 25 pound is worth it for me, says Take Ames. Take Ames, speak of the man and he shall appear. Cometh the hour, cometh the man.
How you doing? You're right.
I'm good.
Cool.
I'll join you in 5. Okay, so we got a full cast of characters, and so we may as well begin with the show. So what did I saw something, guys. I'm gonna come to you in a second, but I saw something out of the corner of my eye over in the YouTubes, and I wanna explore it right now live. I want to explore it live, and then we'll get into the chat. I just want to see if I can pull this thing up that I saw. I think it's copyright free. So if so, I'll be able to play it live, and then we'll get to talking. But first of all, let me just do something live right about here, right about now. Let me try and find the thing that I'm trying to find. I think I should be able to play it live without infringing copyright. Right, this face off explodes. Face off explodes. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when I type that in. Let me see. Okay, let's try that. Okay. Let me see what I can play from this. I think I'll be able to play this without risk. I think I'll be able to play this without risk of copyright infringement. How do we know? How am I going to know if I don't try? I'm going to have to try and keep your fingers crossed. Let's hope for the best. Let me try and share this. I'm going to mute both of you chaps for a second. Okay, so you're muted. Let me share. Let me try and share this. I hope without consequence. Boom. No. Yeah. Okay. Am I sharing? Okay. So without any. Okay, we're sharing. You can unmute yourselves, guys, if you want to. I haven't seen this. It's the first time I've seen this. Anybody seen this already?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I saw it earlier.
Okay, I haven't watched this yet. I just saw the thumbnail. I heard a pop. I'll be in that window in a second. Hopefully this isn't copyrighted. Just playing the visuals, no audio. I should be good. Tyson Fury here, adopting the hoodie style. I think he's in Las Vegas. It shouldn't be cold. It shouldn't be cold at this time of year. I don't know. Never been to Vegas myself. Speculating. They're doing a lot of jibber jabbering. Okay, skipping on for a few seconds. Oh, okay. Oh. It's very close. They're very close. I'm not sure about this closeness. Look at this. Very. I kind of wish I knew what they were saying. What is this? What is this? Whoa, what's this? Hands. Whoa. It always gets like this with these guys. How much more have we got of this? Okay, I think I'm gonna cut it there. Don't want to risk no copyrights. Okay, so stop sharing. Boom, kill that. Boom, get back into. Okay, you got full complement, full crew. Okay, where do you want to start? Where do we begin? Big Boxing, how you doing? Big Boys Boxing, how you doing? Okay, Big Boys Boxing, not with us at the moment. I hear some humming. I think he's tapping his mic. Yeah, damn. Woo.
Sorry, guys, I had my mic plugged in the wrong hole.
Hey, we've all been there, Big Boys Boxing. We've all been there. Don't feel bad. Oh, dear. Everybody else has gone quiet. Okay, moving swiftly on.
What hole?
The wrong one.
Which wrong one?
I'll take it out.
Oh, dear. Yeah, you just say, sorry about that, darling. Move on.
Turn the bloody lights on.
Hey, it was your idea to put the candles on, love. Okay. There's so many elements of this thing that I really am perplexed about. Actually, okay, whoever saw what we just saw, if you want to talk us through that, how did it go down? Did we hear any audio?
No, I didn't hear.
Yeah, I
any audio.
mean, not from your end, but from in terms of what happened.
Not from my end. I muted the sound.
No.
I mean, when you was watching it live, when you was watching it elsewhere.
It's just the usual stuff that you expect, don't you, from fight week. Last little bit of, when they're talking to each other a bit to grab some of the audience if you can. The usual stuff when they were squaring up to each other. I'm bigger than you. I'm taller than you. You're this. You're that. Let's not repeat what they were saying, but last little attempt to get into each other's heads, kind of thing, and ruffle a few feathers. And Deontay Wilder then proceeded to look like he was going to grab him from the armpits and pick up Tyson Fury and push him, and then in return, Tyson Fury pushing back Deontay Wilder. So they both have a little bit of a thing to latch onto if they want to say, they pushed the other one and such. That's all it was, really. Yeah,
Marley, you saw it as well.
Yep, I did.
Yeah.
I only saw it then. I didn't actually have. I haven't seen it live yet. Still got to go have a look at it.
Yeah. Big Boys Boxing. Did you see that live?
Yeah, I saw it live, and I've been waiting for it. It's been pretty quiet, the build-up, so it was good to see both guys getting amped up a bit. It's going to be interesting what's going to happen at the weigh-in as well. I think it's going to be even more action-packed, so yeah, should be good.
Should be good, 100%. They're getting warmed into it. They're getting into it. That was what? Face-off. That was a face-off. Face-off explodes. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder go at each other, pushing and shoving and talking ish. Okay, yeah, it's going to be interesting to hear the. As a matter of fact, Rafi's getting a bit crafty. Rafi's getting a bit crafty, but not crafty enough to not accidentally close that window when I was going to go back and try and catch some of the audio. But never mind. I'm still trying to figure out where we are going to begin. And as a matter of fact, we're gonna come back to the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury thing in a second, but I want to come at it with a different angle. I want to come at it from a different angle to start off with. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 2 believes Wilder. Okay, no, we ain't going to start there. We're going to start off from the Joseph Parker angle. We're going to start off from the Joseph Parker angle and hear what he has to say. I haven't read this yet, so I don't know what Joseph's got to say. So let's share this. Let's share this and see what Joseph's saying. Okay. Am I even sharing? Let's try again. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I'm sharing now. Okay, so Joseph Parker has told Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury to fight Anthony Joshua next and crown an undisputed world heavyweight champion, as Parker himself prepares to return to action against Sean Dell Winters. Can everybody mute their mics, please? Everybody mute their mics, please. Sean Dell Winters at the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, on Saturday, February the 29th, live on the Zone in the US and Sky Sports in the UK. Okay, so Parker is back on the world title trail after having had to pull out of a proposed clash with Derek Chisora in London in October after sustaining an illness due to a spider bite, an impertinent spider. Okay, the former WBO champion is finishing his preparation for his return to action against Winters in Las Vegas this week before heading to Texas. And on Saturday night, the Kiwi fan favorite will take his seat in Sin City as Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury rematch for Wilder's WBC title. Okay, Parker has grown close to Fury, having bonded with the former champion when he defended his old belt against his cousin Hughie Fury in Manchester. And while he's back in the Gypsy King to beat Wilder on Saturday night, his message to both men is simple: face the unified champion, Anthony the Landlord Joshua, next, providing the British IBF, WBO, IBO, and WBA champion comes through his next fight. That will be with Pulev in Tottenham Hotspur's new ground, at Tottenham Hotspur's new ground. I'm presuming he's still in Tottenham. Yeah. So providing he gets through that, Joseph Parker is saying, I want to see the winner challenge Joshua. The reason I say that is because we've been talking about the undisputed champion for a long time. And it's important to give the fans what they want to see. Who the best is in the division. That's what people want to know. Who is the best in the division? I have to side with Fury on Saturday. I like his boxing ability and what he can do in the ring as a big man, moving, jabbing, combinations. I just hope it's a great fight again. It's whoever execute the plan. They both had time to look at the tape of the first fight and study each other and their own improvements, own movements, improvements. So it's who executes their plan first or better. Both of these guys talk a lot of crap, but they are very entertaining. If I tried to talk like that, it just wouldn't work, not even close. So I'll stick to what I know. The first fight was so exciting and controversial. I think a lot of people thought Fury won the fight on points. Other people thought because of the knockdowns, Wilder won. So the rematch is going to be very, very interesting. Okay, so the upshot of that, the primary message of that is that Parker, I want Wilder versus Fury winner to challenge Joshua. So let's go around the table with that one. Boom, boom, boom. Let's start off with Marla.
What was that? Yeah, I would love to see the winner fight, AJ. I just hope they don't have that third fight this year between Fury and Wilder. But, I really do want to see them sort this. Just see both camps just cut this nonsense out, and let's actually get this fight going, man. Vander Holyfield, Bowe, as I said earlier, they've fought 3 times in 3 years. We haven't seen one fight yet.
Damn.
Damn.
Just want to get it on. Just going to get it on. Get this fight done. Forget about the trilogy fight and move on to the unification fight. The flying deal with that is that Joshua has 2 mandatories this year. But to me, if he fights Pulev, or when he fights Pulev, what's supposed to be June? He fights Pulev in June, and then that's the IBF mandatory taken care of, and then he's got to move on to the WBO. But with Usyk being in-house under the same promotional umbrella, if they did make a unification bout or undisputed bout versus the winner of Fury and Wilder, if they were able to make it for 2020, I personally think that something could be worked out with the WBO and Usyk himself being under the same umbrella. Ames.
Yep.
Joseph Parker says he wants Wilder, the winner of Wilder Fury, to fight Joshua next. No trilogy for the time being.
You can tell he's a fan, can't you? Because he just wants what we all want, which is just someone to, the kind of saga to be put to an end, and one champion be unified, undisputed, be the name of the heavyweight division. The problem is Joseph Parker and yourself, the fans can want that, but there's contracts in the way, WBC is in the way, there's mandatories in the way that are in line for that. Eddie Hearn said he's going to put in an offer and see what can be done. I don't think anything can be done. I think this is pretty much a concrete situation, unfortunately, unless something drastic happens on Saturday. But I think it's great wishful thinking that I wish for as well. But it's just something that's not going to materialize, unfortunately, at least for the next maybe 1 or 2 years.
Why not? Why?
Like I said, contractually, the third fight is there. The rematch clause is on both ends. So I think that's the first stumbling block. And then second of all, if Deontay Wilder comes out as the winner, we all know what happened the first time around with the offers going back and forth. 50 million's here, prove the 50 million. Let's do it here. Let's do it there. It's just gonna be the same run around. I don't think we're gonna get anything any clearer. We probably won't get anything any clearer after this fight. The only thing that's clear right now is that there's the likelihood of a third fight, barring anything really drastic on Saturday.
Big boys boxing.
Well, I've got bad news for y'all. I think Joseph Parker's pulling the wool over your all eyes. I mean, he's saying all the things that real boxing fans want to hear, what we want to happen. But the truth of the matter is, if Anthony Joshua doesn't fight his WBO mandatory after Pulev, he's going to lose the WBO belt. Joseph Parker knows this, and he wants to be able to fight for it against Usyk.
What a crafty little bugger.
Yeah.
Crafty little bugger. So Usyk, but Usyk's fighting Chisora, surely.
He's got an injury. That's delayed now. I'm not sure.
I bet you that fight won't happen either. He's saying he's going to fight Chisora to keep Eddie Hearn happy, but it's been well documented prior to that fight date being made that Usyk didn't want to fight anybody before going into the title shot against Joshua.
Damn.
So I think Usyk's original promoter and team don't really want that Chisora fight.
Why
I think it's a tactical injury.
Why not? Why don't they want it with Chisora?
Because there's a possibility they could lose. And then the mandatory shot against the cash cow's gone.
So hold on. So the hypothesis there is that Usyk just wants to go straight to the king.
Yeah. Straight to that big money fight.
Damn.
'Cause how old is Usyk? About 33?
Yeah. Something in
Yeah.
that region.
Get the
32,
fight with
something like
AJ and cash up.
Damn. Usyk is playing a crafty game. Very crafty. So
It's all just opinion, though. So
yeah, so
Yeah.
so Joseph Parker's statement is that he wants to see unification bout at the end of the year, as soon as possible next. And you're saying Big Boys Boxing, there's a bit of gamesmanship involved in that statement.
yeah, they make that fight, the WBO belt will be stripped. Because
Damn.
that was the agreement that was made. They said, yeah, Pulev can go first as long as you fight Usyk next.
Okay, and you don't think Big Boys Boxing, you don't think there's any wiggle room in that? You don't think undisputed is going to trump mandatory?
Well, usually it does, but like I said, the WBO have already stipulated what they want.
Right.
And I think they're smart enough to know that even if they strip the belt off Joshua and Parker and Usyk fight for it, the winner of that fight's going to get to fight Joshua anyway. So they're still going to get their sanctioning fees either way.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. I think everybody's had a go. Let's see what the chat's saying. There's an American conspiracy. Yeah, saw that one. Can't pay to see a fighter who did not fight. Okay, seen that one. Okay. The last King of Scotland, big Gypsy King fan. Saw it on IFL. Yes, Shiz Biz up in the building. BH up in the building. Live with Rafi and guests. Let's get it on. Georgie, Porgy, Large up in the building. Absolutely. Philip Carl Roberts up in here. Excellente. Okay, so we are well populated. Chisora is a risky fight. Yes, indeed. Usyk wants that red panty night. Okay. So let's get on to and into the next thing. The next element. The next element within this puzzle. We must see. Okay, we'll say. Okay, well, rematch. Biggest in 50 years, says who? Who said that? Fury. The rematch with. Okay, let's deal with that then. Let's share that. Let's talk about that. That's quite an interesting statement. Okay, let's go with it.
No, I think Holyfield Tyson rematch was bigger.
Let's chop it up. Let's have a look at it. Okay, so Tyson Fury says rematch with Wilder is the biggest. His rematch with Wilder is the biggest heavyweight fight in 50 years, and the best since Ali Frazier. Okay, so Lennox Lewis, Las Vegas. Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, and Anthony Joshua Vladimir Klitschko are commonly considered two of boxing's biggest heavyweight events of this century. So that was Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson and Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko. Okay, Tyson Fury feels his rematch against Deontay Wilder on Saturday night is bigger than those fights. The ever-confident Fury went as far on Tuesday to call. Just mute your mics, everyone, please. Thank you. To call their second showdown for Wilder's WBC title, the biggest heavyweight title fight since the legendary rivals Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier squared off for the first time in what was billed the fight of the century nearly 49 years ago. Okay, It's reputed that Luis Ortiz was actually in the front row. Okay, now, I don't recall the heavyweight division being so exciting since the 70s. Okay, I don't recall the heavyweight division being as exciting since the 70s, Fury told a group of reporters after the grand arrival at the MGM Grand Arena. And this one, me and Wilder, is going to be the biggest fight since 1971, since the last time two undefeated heavyweight champions fought each other. Undefeated heavyweight champions. Okay, heavyweight champions. Okay. Lineal saying, Tyson saying he's the lineal, so he's a heavyweight champ. Okay. That was Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier in 71. So it took a while, nearly 50 years to get another massive fight like that. So I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to put on a fantastic show, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so we'll move that one along. That has been done. And that's the title. My rematch with Wilder is going to be the biggest heavyweight fight in 50 years since Frazier Ali. Okay, let's chop that one up. Okay, so where are we? Let's get this thing right. Okay, so where are we going to go? Big Boys Boxing. You want to kick off with that one?
Yeah, well, I suppose Tyson is right about it being the biggest fight between two undefeated champions, because he's put all these stipulations in here. You know, there's been much bigger fights.
Yeah,
like Marla was saying. You know, but when you have to put the stipulations of undefeated champions in there, well, then you got to look back a fair way.
Yeah, you got to look back a fair way. But I would open up the question. I would open up the question to what it really should be. Is this the biggest heavyweight title fight in the last 50 years?
No way. But after the fight happens and we can actually see some numbers, we might be able to see, because two undefeated champions in Joshua and Parker unifying did 1.3 million pay-per-views. So
something in their region. Yeah, something in that region. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, heavyweight title fights, there are great heavyweight title fights. I mean, there have been so many over the years. The comeback, Joshua's comeback with Ruiz. Is this fight gonna be bigger than that one? I don't think so. I don't think the numbers. How is he defining bigger? Are we defining bigger by numbers? I think we are. That's how we decide this define big when it comes to boxing, in the numbers. Is it going to be a higher grossing fight than Ruiz Joshua 2? I think not. So take out the stipulations and what do you call stipulations? Yeah, take out the small print with the stipulations, and we're talking about heavyweight boxing. Is this going to be the biggest heavyweight boxing fight in the last 50 years? I don't think it's even the biggest heavyweight boxing in the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years. It could be. We got Wilder unifying for the first time, potentially unifying for the first. Unifying. Where does the lineal belt sit in this? Where does the lineal? How big? Well, that's the next question. That's another question.
And rings in there as well.
The ring towel. That's yeah. You have to say. Yeah, you have to acknowledge that. You have to acknowledge that the ring belt. Yeah, the ring belt does look good in every fighter's cabinet. So you have to acknowledge that. Yeah, so there's a ring belt on the line. So it is a big fight. There is no doubt about it. Biggest in 50 years? It couldn't be. Could never be, because these guys have not been fighting killer after killer. These guys haven't been fighting killers after killers after killers. Look at Fury's resume. He's not fighting killer after killer after killer back to back. Last time he beat a top 10 fighter was 5 years ago. So I think it's a good thing to say for promotional purposes. but in no way, shape, or form would I subscribe to Tyson Fury's philosophy on this one. It's not the biggest fight in the last 50 years, probably not the biggest fight in the last 5 years. Let's go around the table. Ames.
Well, it's hard to gauge with this sort of thing. I think, we obviously, I think I've said this a few times about answering questions, like we'll know after the fact. But at the moment, everything's in play. Everything's in play in the sense of let's just humor for the moment. If this were to broach 2 million buys, now, if we were to broach 2 million buys, what does that say about the fight? It would say that it's a massive fight. Yeah. And it would put it in contention with being one of the biggest fights in the last 50 years. I think that's something you'd have to admit because of the day and age we live in and where boxing has fallen since those heavy days of, the 50s and 70s and et cetera, sorry, 70s. Yeah. Even a million, you might even say the same sort of thing as well. If it reached 1 million, because outside the Floyd Mayweather era, who else is hitting those highs? And when the boxing is predicated on its signature division, the heavyweight division, and no one's done that for such a long time. I think that would send a serious statement to put it in contention with those fights that Tyson Fury talks about. It's a hard thing to say. I think personally, you can call me crazy, I think it has the potential to be up there. Whether it will stand out as the biggest is something that I would have to put a stamp on after the fact. I can't say anything now.
Yeah. I hear that. Marla, the biggest fight in the last 50 years, heavyweight.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Like, it's a big fight. Like, I'm excited about it, but I don't think it quite has the edge of the rematch with AJ and Ruiz. I think that was a bit bigger. I even think the fight with AJ and Vladimir Klitschko had a bit more intensity to it in the build up to it than this one does. Yes. And I remember thinking back to like when Evander Holyfield lost to Riddick Bowe the first time and they had the rematch, the anticipation for that fight was huge. And the biggest one, I think, was the rematch with Tyson and Holyfield. I remember back at the time, everyone was talking about that rematch. People who weren't even normally fight fans were talking about it. The anticipation was just huge for that. So this is a big fight and I'm excited about it, but I certainly don't think it's the biggest in 50 years.
No, I don't think it's the biggest in 50 years at all. Nowhere near it. Not the biggest in 10 years. I don't know if it's the biggest in 2 years. Certainly, I remember Holyfield versus Tyson versus Holyfield 1. I remember exactly where I was. I remember where I watched it. It was in a pub on a big screen. And most of the people there wanted Tyson Fury to win. Me, I wanted Holyfield to win. I wanted Holyfield to win, and when Holyfield, I remember I was watching it in the pool room after hours. Obviously, it was a lock-in, and I remember when Holyfield hit Tyson with a particular shot. I don't know if it was a left hook, and it clearly staggered Tyson, and that was the turning point. That was when the people who thought Tyson was going to win, that's when they got quiet, and that's when we jumped up. Said, yes, it's going down. And that was an awesome fight. So there's been plenty of top grade heavyweight fights over the last 50 years. Carry on.
That first Holyfield fight, I remember too. I mean, I was petrified for Holyfield because he hadn't looked that great against Bobby Cheers. Right. And then when he came into the Tyson fight and Tyson hit Holyfield with a right hand early and it was like, oh my God, but Holyfield took it and come back firing. And as the fight wore on, you realized Holyfield's not going away. He ain't going away. Yeah, that was a huge fight, man.
And the drama for that fight, the electricity. The electricity. They should have some kind of electricity meter, because I'll tell you this for nothing. In the first Wilder Fury fight, I'll be totally frank. The electric was missing for me. It was interesting. It was like, well, let's see what happens. But there wasn't no crackling electricity. I wasn't on the edge of my seat. Was not on the edge of my seat for it. This time around, let's see. Let's see if I'm on the edge of my seat for this one. Let's see.
You see, I was. I was on the edge of my seat though, Raf. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, interrupt as much as you like. Carry on.
It's for me. I think I said this on Monday. It's the proverbial tightrope walk, which is a interesting style of fighting that I'd like to watch. It's the boxer who has to walk from A to B, from round 1 to round 12 without falling off, essentially without getting knocked out. And that for me put me on the edge of my seat. You just don't know when that bomb's going to come, and it could come at any moment. And that for me is must watch TV. I like all sorts of boxing styles and boxing matchups. They all entertain me in a sort of different way. But I know for a fact that Deontay Wilder, if he lands, Tyson Fury is going to feel it and he might go down. The difference between Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz too is I knew that Anthony Joshua wasn't gonna engage in Andy Ruiz's game plan, and therefore was going to box around the ring for 12 rounds, and Andy Ruiz couldn't get anywhere near him, which took the electricity that you're talking about away from me, from my perspective.
Yeah, there wasn't. I didn't feel that same electric that I felt in the what was it, the Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield fight. There wasn't that electric for me in that fight, the Joshua Ruiz fight, that there was in the Holyfield Tyson fight. That was high up there for me. That was high up there. That's probably one of the electrical peaks that I can recall. But let me ask you this question: did you even watch that fight though?
I can't gauge that because I wasn't born in that. Well, I wasn't watching boxing. I think. What year was that?
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't tell you Big Boys boxing. I couldn't tell you.
96.
96.
So the rematch was 97.
I was 4 and 5.
You was 4. So you have you even seen that fight?
Yeah, no, I've seen both the fights. So
subsequently,
yeah. So like the electricity, it just isn't there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The electricity is not going to be there after all. But live, let me tell you, live. That is one of the fights where the electronic meter was through the roof. It was just crackling electric. Big Boys boxing. Was it electrical for you?
Oh yeah. That was, I was only young, but I was watching it, and I wasn't that young. But no, it definitely had me on the edge of the seat. More so in the second fight, but still plenty in the first fight as well. Great fights. Different era these days and different kind of breed of fighters. So I think it was a bit easier to get that electricity going back in the heyday of the heavyweight boxing era.
Yeah, the big guns fought each other.
Yeah,
that was
all
the
difference.
Yeah. It wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem for a big guy to fight another big guy. Top fights he made. It wasn't a problem. There might be a little hiccups. Of course, there were problems sometimes. Lennox Lewis trying to get his rematch with who was it? Oliver McCall? Was it Oliver McCall who messed around for 2 years? There was one of them that it took 2 years to get him back in the ring. I think it was Oliver McCall, the Atomic Bull. I think it was around 2 years to get him back in the ring.
Holyfield Bow never happened.
Holyfield Bow. Who Bow?
Holyfield and Bow.
They fought.
Oh, who was it? Marla. Who was it who never fought?
Lennox Lewis and Bow.
Lennox and Bow. Yeah,
Lennox and Bow.
Yeah. Holyfield and Bow, I think they fought 3 times.
Yeah, they did.
They did, 3 times. 3 times. So, but we're gonna see. And in comes the man live from Texas before work. Knows he has to come over here to Boxing Talk with Rafi and just express himself. Phil Walker, how do you do? You're muted. Or maybe Phil's not ready to talk yet. Okay, come in when you are ready, Phil Walker. I don't know if you're having the same problems that Big Boys Boxing had when he stuck his mic in the wrong hole. Okay. Easily happens. Okay, so let me just get through some of these topics. Or the thing is, if they put the WBO mandatory on hiatus and undisputed fight happens, and the undisputed champion would have the WBO, WBA, and WBC mandatory in 21, undisputed won't happen this year. Yeah. Yep. I said that about the first fight. Yeah, it's going to be crackling. Both have gift victories. Yeah. The resumes aren't what they used to be. I'm not overly enthused by Tyson Fury's resume, and no one is overly enthused with Deontay Wilder's resume. Phil Walker, how you doing? Okay, and we continue with some of these comments before we get on to the next element. The days of Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Holyfield, Bowl were much bigger. Those are much bigger fights, much more electricity, the electrometer. Don't forget to support the channel, people. Yeah, and that's a good point because I received some, what do you call them? Donations last week. No, Monday. I received some donations Monday, but my phone didn't buzz. The PayPal people didn't make my phone buzz, so I'm going to get into those contributions from this Monday just gone, and I'll read those out shortly. I have to set it up so it comes up live on the screen. Got to get onto that. Thanks for the reminder, Georgie Porgy. PayPal button in the description box. Okay, so the philosophy of winning a title and retiring without a solitary defense is not what the champion is. It's why Fury has no titles. A real champion can't pick who he fights like Fury has. I think Deontay Wilder falls into that same category, though. He's a picker and chooser. I was buzzing in the first fight. Okay. That's good. Yeah, different generations. You know what I'm saying? Different generations. Maybe this generation is more easily pleased, Ames. You didn't live through you didn't live through the era where heavyweight fighters just fought the best. They just fought the best. There was no messing around like there is today. It's a different breed of animal.
But aren't Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder at least one of the 5 best in the heavyweight division
right now?
Yeah,
they are. They're in the top 3 right now. Yeah. But it doesn't detract from the fact, or my contention is, it doesn't detract from the fact that it's a different area, it's era, it's a different vibe, it's a different feeling. You know, it's a different feeling, and especially for me, when these guys come out and say, "Yeah, we're freezing Anthony Joshua out," ha 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 ha. No, you can't get a looking. You can't get a looking. You're tough. You stay over there. We don't need you. We're the best. You're not the best. We're the best over here. No, I'm not coming back to England. This is my home now. My home is Las Vegas now. Forget about England. Huh? What's that? Ames? What kind of era is that? Where a man disowns his own homeland. You supporting if he comes back to England, he could be in the Tower of London, Ames. Do you realize that? Do you realize that the penalty for treason?
Bottom line for me is, to be fair, as long as the fights happen, I don't really care where the fights take place, as long as the fights happen. And that's happening here with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. I think the fights with Tyson Fury and AJ will happen. I'm not so confident about Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Obviously, I want to see it happening. But right now, what I have in front of me, what I can see for real is, like you said earlier, 2 of the top 3 fighting on Saturday, which is something comparable in a sense to the previous era, which obviously I can't say too much about.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. 2 of the top 3 are fighting indeed, and they're saying they're not going to fight the other guy in the top 3.
They will.
They're not just saying they're not going to fight the other time the top 3. What the hell is that? Takes something away from it for me. That takes something away from it for me. Move around the table. Let's get other people's opinions. Marla, does that take anything away from it? Hey, hold on. Phil Walker's mic is unmuted. So, Phil Walker, I think you can hear us. Can you hear us from Texas?
Yes, sir. I definitely can hear you guys now, man. I definitely can.
Okay, Phil Walker from Big Texas. Good to have you here pre-work. What are we talking about? We're talking about, I don't know if you was old enough to remember Mike Tyson, the real Tyson. Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield. I don't know if you remember the atmosphere, the crackling. I don't know if you was old enough.
No, absolutely, man. I definitely remember that. During that particular time, Holyfield was one of my favorite fighters.
Mine too.
So, yeah. So I actually do remember that very vividly, actually.
Yeah, I remember it very clear, very vividly. I was in a pub. It was on a big screen, and everybody was a Mike Tyson supporter. Me, less so. I wanted. Which fight happened first? Yeah, that fight happened before the Lennox Lewis fight as well. So oftentimes, even though I appreciated Mike, there were certain times, not often, there were certain times where I was rooting for the other guy. Those occasions were the Holyfield fights and the Lennox Lewis fights. I think most other people I was cool with him beating, but not those guys. I was a bigger supporter of those guys than him. And I just remember the atmosphere, the crackling atmosphere. Tyson Fury has said this fight, the second fight with Wilder, is going to be the biggest fight in the last 50 years in the heavyweight division. What say you, Phil Walker?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it is going to be a big fight, but to say it's the biggest fight in the last 50 years, I don't think so. I think it may be one of the biggest fights in the last 50 years for maybe people a lot younger, maybe, who maybe have got into boxing probably around the same age that Deontay Wilder did in his early 20s. Might be the biggest fight for those guys. But if you've been following boxing, man, for the past 25 years, no way can you say that. I have several fights that, to me personally, is a bigger fight than this particular fight right here. So, with that being said, this is a great fight for today's era. It's probably one of the biggest fights for today's era, probably in the last 15 or so years. But the last 50 years, I mean, that's just ridiculous, man. I mean, who is really even pondering on that thought to even conjure up enough guts to even say something like that, besides the guys that are fighting because they want to sell it? I don't even think those guys believe that, but that's just my opinion.
Is it a bigger fight than Joshua Vitali?
Yeah, I actually do think it's a bigger fight than Joshua Vitali. I'm gonna tell you why. I mean, Vladimir. Because it was a big question mark for Vladimir coming into that fight, and it also was a big question mark for AJ. Would he be able to live up to the hype? I think the Vladimir and AJ fight exceeded expectations. With that being said, so yeah, I think the second fight with those two guys probably would have been right on a level with this fight right here, absolutely. But of course, Vladimir retired.
Yeah. So is Tyson Fury saying that this is a bigger fight than when he fought Klitschko?
Yeah, Tyson Fury is saying that. He's saying this is a bigger fight than when he fought Klitschko.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, look, when to me, the AJ and Klitschko fight was a bigger fight than Tyson Fury and Vlad the first time, so
yeah.
I thought that was a bigger fight than that. But I mean, to me, to me, the build up to a fight is just a portion of the actual event, right? Then you have the actual fight, and then you have the after effects of the fight. Right now, I would probably say that it's a lot of hype built up into this particular fight right here with Fury and Wilder. We need to see if they can deliver on Saturday, and then we need to see the after effects, the aftershock of the fight. I think so much. I think with the AJ and Vlad the first time, it was a nice build up to the fight. There was a lot of questions that needed to be answered. People anticipated it, and then the fight itself, I mean, it was crazy, and then the after effects, the shock, the waves he sent through the heavyweight division, it gave it a new kind of life that just was unexpected. You know what I'm saying? So I think The build up is just half of the battle. You still have to have the fight, and you still have to see how it affects the division after. That's just my opinion, though.
Yes. And so, well, you was going to say something, Ames.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said,
I mean Ames. I meant Ames.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. Well, I agree with a lot of what Phil Walker's saying. I just disagree with the notion that the Joshua Vladimir fight was bigger than Tyson Fury. Vladimir had been reigning for however long he had been in division, had been undefeated, had been holding those belts hostage over in Germany for however long, and a man with all the talk who had the Manny Stewart line, the prophecy that he would fulfill, that he would go on to dethrone the then champion Vladimir Klitschko and then rule the division. Obviously, half of that prophecy came true in that he dethroned Vladimir in Germany. Let's not forget, a man who'd totally schooled Vladimir Klitschko, who only landed a punch at Tyson Fury's behest. I think is the bigger fight than what Joshua went through, who'd already beaten a man who'd been beaten in a tougher outing than Tyson Fury had done. And I know we can't think about too much in terms of what could have happened, but if Tyson Fury had kind of been in the mental state and X, Y, and Z, I think we would have seen someone reigning as well for as many years after that Klitschko fight. So I agree with pretty much everything you said, apart from I would hold that the position that the Tyson Fury win over Vladimir was bigger than Joshua.
Okay, Big Boys Boxing. You got anything?
Was I muted there?
No. We heard everything. We heard everything you said. That's cool. Big Boys Boxing. You got anything you want to add on to that before we move on to the next element?
Yeah, we're talking about these past fights like Joshua versus Vladimir and Vladimir versus Fury. With Fury fight in particular, the hindsight's a wonderful thing. You know, I thought leading up to that fight, pretty much everybody was picking Vladimir to knock Tyson out.
Yeah,
it wasn't that big a deal, but when Tyson pulled it off after the fact, that's when it started to get big. I think it was a bit different with Joshua and Vladimir. There was a whole lot of anticipation about what might happen for both guys. So I thought the Joshua Vladimir fight was actually bigger, but you know, it comes down to opinion. And you know, where we're sitting now with the Wilder Fury fight, it's before the fact, so it's hard to say how big it's actually going to be until after the fact. And that's the luxury we have with those other two fights. Yes,
indeed. So we're moving on. This is Vladimir. This is a Tyson Fury, Wilder, Deontay Wilder special. We'll be covering a few things after, or rather at the back end. But primarily the fight's coming up in 4 days? Where are we? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's 3 days. Fight's coming up in 3 days, so I think it's only fair and right. I think also it means that theoretically, it's a big fight also because theoretically it takes us one step closer to undisputed. But I emphasize the theoretical part of that, because the question remains, the lingering, the vexing question, is one of these two guys going to sign up for undisputed? That's the vexing question. Okay. And along those lines, we have the next article. I think this is Exhibit C. Okay. So Tyson Fury, money is too big. The money's too big not to have a trilogy. Okay, so Tyson Fury has confirmed he will do battle with Deontay Wilder for a third time after their heavyweight rematch in Las Vegas on Saturday. Okay, Wilder will put his WBC title on the line, whereas Fury puts his lineal status on the line. Okay, Fury says an agreement is in place for the final part of the trilogy, regardless of the outcome in their second fight. Either boxer, you see, he changes every time. Either. I've done multiple videos on this. I think I was one of the first people to release the original release of the story when the story broke, and that was from Bob Arum. It was much ignored, but it's on my channel. Matter of fact, I might put it in the description box. I may put the link to that in the description box. I was one of the first people to break the news of the trilogy. Link will be in the description box. I'll do that post show, so you can go back and check that video. And since then, there have been different stories, different version of the stories. The winner gets to choose, the loser gets to choose. And now Tyson Fury is saying either boxer can exercise the immediate rematch, the immediate trilogy clause, with the third fight likely coming down on a date in June, if it happens, according to Fury's promoter, Frank Warren. I think the money's too big not to have it, he told Sky Sports. This is the prize fighting game, and there's too much money in the pot for him not to want the rematch, even if he loses, says Fury. Asked if he would like a third fight, Fury said, asked if he would like a third fight, Fury said, I don't lose. I'll be having a rematch either way, a trilogy, he means. All I do is win, unless I get a draw. I think I've done a video on this. Sounds familiar. Okay. Anthony Joshua's promoter, Eddie Hearn, wants whoever comes out on top this weekend to commit to facing the unified champion. We have to put the pressure on the winner to finally get our fight in 2020, Hearn told Sky Sports. We will have a conversation and say, are you doing a third fight? And if so, can you do it quickly, please? Okay, so yes. Let's go over to the panelist. And where are we going? Where are we starting off? Let's go with Big Boys Boxing.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't think there was ever any doubt that there's going to be a third match. I mean, for both guys fighting on the network stuff, fighting on that happen to be working together, where else can they go for that kind of money and keep their network happy? They can't fight Anthony Joshua. They can't fight Dillian White. So why not make the most of the money that's there? And I don't think that undisputed fight can be made, like I explained earlier why. So, get that trilogy done, dusted, and maybe we can work towards undisputed in 2021.
Yes. They have that fight in June. What's that? July, August, September, October, November, December. They got a good 6 months. They got a good 6 months to the end of the year. What they can do then? Okay, this is my suggestion. What they can do then, since they're having it at the 6 month mark, whoever wins can fight Dillian White at the end of 2020. And then that will free up the early part, the first portion of 2021 for the unification bout. Ames.
Yo.
Oh, sorry. Let me go to Phil Walker, because I know he's got work pretty soon. So let me go to Phil Walker, Ames. Phil Walker.
You know, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm gonna say this, but my initial reaction to a third fight is I really don't like the idea of a third fight.
No.
But again, like I said, when you have these fights of this magnitude, you know, you got it's a 3-part series. You know, you have the build up, the fight, and then you have the after effects of the fight. I think if the fight is good enough, a third fight may not be a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be honest with you. I think a third fight is cool, but I would like these guys to explore other options before they decide and sign on a dotted line for a third fight. But if the fight is super good, I mean, who knows? A third fight may be something that, you know, we want, the people want, the fans want.
Yeah.
So, you know, with that being said, we'll just have to wait and see. I hope it's a good fight, and I hope they give the fans what they want, and hopefully it brings us a step closer to undisputed, but probably not. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ames.
Who doesn't love a trilogy, man? Who doesn't love a trilogy? Heavyweight trilogy.
Are you being serious?
Well, it depends. You know, I could be serious in the sense that if it's like Phil Walker saying it's a great fight come Saturday, then yeah, I could be serious. And then if it's a terrible fight, then yeah, I could not be serious. You know what I mean? taking it to literally what happens from round 1 to round 12. If you're Deontay Wilder and you knock out Fury, you want to fight Fury again because you'll knock out Fury again.
Yeah.
If you're Tyson Fury and you win on unanimous decision and you've played with him for 12 rounds, you beat him once, like I think he did the first time round, you beat him again. You beat him twice on a Sunday, as Tyson Fury says. So why not make what would be for either of them, if they were to win, what they would see is easy money and fill up the contract contractually, give the obligation that you made when you signed it. So I think it's for either of them, it could be the easy money that they're looking to make after we get the decision on Saturday. But I mean, yeah, like I'd love to. Eddie Hearn saying he's going to see what can happen. I don't know what can happen. It's pretty much as solid as that contract says, and I've not seen a contract. That's all we know, and I think they'll get there. No one wants to be embroiled with any sort of litigation because of this. So I don't see the scope for this out from the outside looking in for that to materialize. So I think we're very likely to see the third one down the line if it's towards the end of the year. And in terms with being Dillian Whyte, you're just in an unfortunate situation. I've got a lot of goodwill towards Dillian Whyte in that Dillian Whyte's always in really good fights and Dillian Whyte's always in competitive fights as such. And he won't be able to get a shot until this saga has continued. The trilogy has finished. Sorry, the saga has finished. So he will just have to wait, which is a shame. It'll be a good fight for Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. I'd like to see both of them in with Dillian, but he'll just have to wait.
It will just have to wait. And okay, where are we? Okay, yeah, everybody's still in here. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the comments before we move on to the next element, Exhibit E. Okay, I enjoyed this fight. I enjoyed the first fight. It exceeded my expectations. After I watched Klitschko v. Fury, my expectations were not that high, though. BH, which of the two is more likely to face AJ? I think Fury, if any. Okay, we go around the table. Phil Walker, which of the two is the more likely to sign to face Anthony Joshua, the unified champion?
You mean without the trilogy?
No, who out of Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury is more likely to sign to face Joshua for the undisputed fight?
Well, I'll tell you this right here. If Bob Arum has anything to do with it, it'll definitely be Tyson Fury, because he's not going to pass up on any money for sure. Now, we all know that Deontay Wilder will pass up on some money, of course, right? Yeah. So, with that being said, I think Tyson Fury would probably be more likely to take the fight. And, let's be honest. As much as noise as Tyson Fury talks, I think he would actually in having a fight back in his home country and, showing those guys some love and, basically fighting without them having to travel halfway across the world to see him. So, I definitely think he would give back in that way. And, he's always willing to seem bend if something seems to be in his benefit in the long run. So, yeah, I think definitely it'll be Tyson Fury.
Okay. Big Boys Boxing.
Man, I'm not so sure, to be honest. Okay. There's been the squabble between Wilder and Joshua for 3 years now.
Yeah.
But also Tyson's come out and said, I'm not going to fight in the UK, and Anthony Joshua can't fight on another platform. He's contracted to DAZN, so there's a bit of a hurdle there as well. However, if Tyson does fight out his 2 more fights on his contract, is it 2 more? 3 more? 3 more fights.
No, it can't be 3. Is it 3? It's 2 more. It's 2 more. This one, then 2 after this.
Yeah, 3 altogether.
Okay.
So once he fights out that contract, if he doesn't retire, then I think there's a high possibility he may go back to the UK and have a fight. But that's down the track. That's not like next year when we want it, is it? So we'll just have to see how it plays out, I think, and keep our fingers crossed. I mean, maybe it's more likely that Deontay would be willing to take a fight against Joshua now that he's possibly going to get offered 50%. You know, that's what he's wanted all the time. But shit, I don't put too much faith in that either.
I don't see Joshua giving him 50%, but maybe you're giving 50% to the 45% and then 50% to the hot dog takings.
Deontay needs those hot dogs, and good to beef up a bit.
Hey, it's a good business, the hot dog trade. You get a nice standing in location, get a good location. Take aims at that.
Yep.
Take aims at that.
Sure. The answer to that is the fighting man, Tyson Fury. He'll fight anyone. It's a fight that he believes he can win. They both believe they can win. It just makes the most sense, I think, and it's the most easiest to make. I think everyone kind of says that with Tyson Fury, especially with what's happened recently with the Deontay Wilder negotiations. Again, we've tread over that a little bit earlier. It's always easy to make a fight with Tyson Fury. I think that's what will kind of tell when it comes down to it. So Tyson Fury for me.
Okay, there's a little bit of pushing and shoving, a little bit of argy-bargy on the screen. Damn, these boys are getting physical. These boys are... Okay, we'll come back to that periodically. But next, let's get on to... let's stop sharing that. Let me see what's going on. I like AJ, but he got splattered by a fat kid. Put him on the back burner for now. Damn. Last King of Scotland not pulling any punches. Yes. Pablo Diablo. Up in the building. Yes, Pablo. Where we at? I remember it and I picked Holyfield. I want to bet against my brother. Yeah, I'm not really that much of a betting man. So no money was involved. I've been watching hot boxing with Tyson and Holyfield. Quality stuff. Yeah, I've seen that. Haven't watched it. I should. I will. Where are we? Okay, so interesting point by the last King of Scotland. We're going to run this around the table real quick. Phil Walker. Last King of Scotland says, I like AJ, but he got splattered by a fat kid. And that's put him on the back burner for now. Is Anthony Joshua on the back burner? Or how did Wilder say it? Yeah. Is Anthony Joshua irrelevant? Words of Deontay Wilder. He's irrelevant.
I mean, look, let me say this. Maybe in Deontay Wilder's mind, maybe in his brain, he's convinced himself that Anthony Joshua is irrelevant. But, I mean, come on now, man. Everybody knows that Anthony Joshua was absolutely not irrelevant. Look, this is the deal right here. And this is the bad thing about this era of boxing. If you lose, I think it's like the end of your career, right? Yeah. Look, Anthony Joshua went in against Andy Ruiz, didn't know what he was getting himself into, let's be honest. He wanted to go out and put on this spectacular performance in his first showing in the U.S. And I think that particular moment got the best of him. And he lost to Andy Ruiz. But the second time around, he knew what he was getting himself into. He prepared so, and guess what? He went in and he dominated Andy Ruiz, okay? He dominated him.
Yeah.
So with that being said, for me, that shows growth within a fighter, and that shows the ability to not only grow, but to be able to adapt and shake off a loss as well. So, look, absolutely, man. Look, absolutely not. Anthony Joshua is not irrelevant. And who cares if he lost to Ruiz at this point? He's redeemed himself. Again, he's a unified champion. And guess what? His fans hadn't turned their back on him. So it'd be just ridiculous to say that he's irrelevant. I disagree with Deontay Wilder, although I do think he's the best fighter in the world.
Who's the best fighter in the world? Anthony Joshua?
No. Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder.
The bronze duck. The bronze duck. Big Boys Boxing. Is Anthony Joshua irrelevant?
Nah, not at all. I mean, it's promotional tact, saying what the networks are instructing him to say. You know, Bob Arum came out with the same sort of crap the other day, saying Anthony Joshua isn't elite, yet he holds 3 of the 4 belts.
Damn, how did that happen? How did that happen?
Yeah, how did that happen? And you know, it wasn't that long ago that Bob Arum was promoting Andy Ruiz while he was in a world title fight.
Yeah.
But that guy just got beaten by a fighter who isn't elite. Come on, Bob. How stupid do you think we are?
Take aims.
The cash cow is never going to be irrelevant, is he? When it comes to this, if you want to get paid in the division, you go to Anthony Joshua, don't you? He's a man with all the belts. He's the man that brings in all the money. And once this is all over, once the mandatory's gone and all that sort of stuff, they'll be going to Anthony Joshua to get that fight for sure. It's just one of those things, though, which is classic. When a big fight comes around, the others in the division look to piggyback off of that and get their free promotion. And that's what they're trying to combat against by not allowing Anthony Joshua into the arena of thought. Whereas Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua are looking to promote Anthony Joshua and put him back in. So that's all that's happening now. With that said, Rafi, I'm going to hop off to bed. I'll be listening to the stream.
Okay, my friend. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to join Rafael Combat Radio and crew. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Can I just add on to that too? It's a little bit sad when a fight's coming up and, you know, we're supposed to be promoting fights, but then these fighters come out and they demote others to try and make themselves look better. Yeah. That's not promotion. That's just sad.
Yeah. Well, what happens when one of these guys theoretically, potentially, possibly in the future has to face the guy they said was irrelevant, the guy they said was no good? He's a bum.
They're going to look real stupid if they get beaten by that guy, aren't they?
Hilarious indeed. And I think it's time that I pop out. I think it's time that I break out the title piece, the title story. And for that, I'm going to have to go into my own channel and bring up. Do I bring up the video? I'm not going to bring up the video. People can watch the video after the show or at their convenience. I'll bring up the soundbite. Let me cue this baby up.
More years that I want to participate in boxing, you know, in this brutal sport. And hopefully during that time that we'll get some of these brave champions give me an opportunity to fight me, you know. The reason why I wasn't able to that would get some of these brave.
Okay, let me kill the music and get this thing right so you guys can hear it. This is the soundbite that I used in my latest video. And it's Deontay Wilder breaking down. Well, I'll let the man speak for himself. What's the visuals here? Deontay Wilder, take it away.
Brave champions give me an opportunity to fight me, you know. And hopefully during that time that we'll get some of these brave champions give me an opportunity to fight me, you know. The reason why I wasn't able to obtain, you know, other belts, Unify, because I haven't had the opportunity. No one has given me the opportunity, you know. So I've given everyone else the opportunity, whether they took it or not, but it hasn't been the same for me. And with that being said, when you're not getting opportunities, you know, from the other champions, you know, it makes it a little bit difficult and it makes it a little bit longer. So,
Phil Walker, Deontay Wilder says the reason he hasn't fought for undisputed is because the other champions didn't give him the opportunity. Take it away, Phil Walker.
So, in my guesstimation, I mean, when he says other champions, he's got to be only talking about Anthony Joshua. I mean,
well, no,
Vladimir as well,
because we got first. Let's go back. We got a line of champions. We got a long list of champions. Let's go back. We got Charles Martin. Charles Martin, I believe, was the IBF champion. whilst Deontay Wilder was the WBC, had won the WBC champion. Deontay Wilder won it. Let's go back further than that. Let's go to Vladimir Klitschko. Deontay Wilder, he was a champion at the same time as Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder didn't fight Klitschko because Shelly Finkel said Deontay Wilder's just a baby. And Klitschko said, well, you know, Deontay is in a difficult position. You know, he's he doesn't really manage his career. You know, he's not getting really the high profile fights. You know, so he's not in a good position right now. Basically, he was saying that Deontay Wilder had zero profile, which was true. Okay. And then we moved.
So look,
No, because then we go to Charles Martin. So Deontay Wilder could have fought Charles Martin, but instead, that fight went over to Anthony Joshua. And then he continues from there, because then Deontay Wilder could have fought Parker, Joseph Parker. But then, and Joseph Parker went to one of his fights. He was there. They were talking about the fight, and then Deontay Wilder made some derisory offer. An offer so low that Joseph Parker said, I could get that for fighting in my own backyard. I could get that fighting in New Zealand. That was how derisory the offer it was. And of course, Joseph Parker hopped on a plane over to London and got the fight made with Anthony Joshua after some to and fro, admittedly, and some theatrics on the part of what's that guy's name's Higgins, a part of Joseph Parker's manager Higgins. So there's a long line. Phil Walker, of opportunities that Deontay Wilder had. But he's come out and said in that clip there and in the video, I've done the corresponding video, that he never got the chance to unify. He never unified because he didn't get the chance. Other champions didn't want to fight him. Take it away, Phil Walker.
Yeah. So this is the way I look at that situation right there, right? So since Deontay Wilder's been champion, you've had Tyson Fury's been champion, Vladimir Klitschko, Joseph Parker, Anthony Joshua, and Andy Ruiz. Yeah. Correct? Mm-hmm. All right. That's everybody. All right. So potential fights would have been Parker, Vlad, and AJ, of course. Right? Mm-hmm. He's fighting Fury now. So, but Fury's he's a lineal champion, but it's no, we all know that. We all know how,
that's a dusty situation, but carry on.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know how people kind of feel about that. Well, look, I can say this right here. As far as, I've never really got down to the bottom of the Vladimir situation, so I won't speak on that.
Okay.
But I will say this. I can't speak on the Anthony Joshua, and I can't speak on the Joseph Parker situation. From my understanding, they were trying to make the fight with Joseph Parker before Joseph Parker decided to go and fight Anthony Joshua for unification.
That's correct.
So, yeah. So with that being said, I mean, if you're in negotiations for a fight, I mean, that's absolutely 100% an opportunity right there by definition. If you're talking to another champion about fighting him, whether it be in his country or in your country, that is absolutely an opportunity. In that, you just have to come to terms. You guys have to agree on something. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, that's one opportunity. As far as the Anthony Joshua situation, we all know that, it was opportunity there. We know it was mistakes made on both sides. But to say that they didn't give you opportunity, to me, is just bullshit. Excuse me, I'm sorry, it's just BS. My bad, Ralph. It's just BS because at the end of the day, again, it all goes back to just agreeing to terms. But the opportunity and the efforts were there by the other party, by Matchroom and Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua. So, to say that they don't want to give an opportunity, I think that's baloney. Now, whether you think you're above that opportunity or you think that it's not a good opportunity for you, that's a different question. But to say that they won't give you an opportunity at all is just, to me, it's just ridiculous. So with that being said, that is a false statement right there. That is definitely a false statement by the Bronze Bomber.
Big
I love
boys.
you, Wilder, but that's come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Come on, Wilder.
Is it a
Come
lie?
on.
Is it a barefaced lie? Because I asked the question in my
Punch my
video.
line.
I asked the question in my video. Either Deontay Wilder is delusional. 1, 2, he's suffering from some kind of, what do you call it when you lose your memory?
Amnesia.
Amnesia. He's suffering from amnesia. Or 3, it was a bare-faced lie. Phil Walker, what is it? What is it?
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it may be a little bit of amnesia. I think it may be a little bit of CTE, and I think it, it's majority, not a little bit, a bald-faced lie. So yeah.
OMG. I don't know what's going on. I'm seeing on my screen here it's saying stream unavailable. What's happened? Oh, it's back. It's back. Damn. I had a little bit of a heart attack there. Said on one of my devices, stream unavailable. That was kind of disturbing. Let's stop sharing. Big Boys Boxing. What is it?
It's a bare-faced lie. He knows very well he'd been given plenty of opportunities. Either he turned them down or he couldn't offer enough money to get the fights for unification. But I think he's saying this because this fight in particular, there's a whole lot of casual fans that are going to be tuning into this because it's such a big event.
Yeah.
And those casual fans, they don't know the difference. So they're just going to get behind him and say, look, this guy's been done wrong. He thinks it's going to make more people like him. But to the actual boxing fans who know what happens, it's just another reason to dislike the guy outside the ring.
Damn.
So he brings this shit on himself. Excuse the language, sorry.
Yeah. Damn. You know why would he come out in public and just utter such complete and utter tosh? Complete.
Well, let me say this real quick before I get out of here.
Yeah.
Maybe in Deontay's mind, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think from his point of view. Maybe in his mind.
Carry on.
When maybe in his mind,
you have to be one part delusional, one part, another part delusional, and the third part extremely delusional. But carry on, Phil Walker. Do your best. I'm
thinking, because I've also heard him.
Do you want to go through with this? Think about it deeply, Phil Walker. Do you want to do this?
Look. I'm gonna try my best.
The undefendable. Carry on, Phil Walker. Don't mind me.
I think maybe Deontay, from Deontay Wilder's perspective, okay. I think, because I've heard him say this, and this is why I'm repeating this. I've heard him say, "Hey, look, they make offers, but they're not real offers. They make offers just to say, hey, we made offers." So I think maybe that's his approach, but in the same sentence, you cannot say that about Joseph Parker. You see what I'm saying? So earlier when I said, well, is he just talking about AJ? Because essentially Wilder had complete and utter control of the Joseph Parker situation. They just couldn't offer him enough money. So, look, and this is another thing. I don't think that Matchroom has to be the one that always comes out and makes the offers for the fight. I think PBC should also be, an aggressive party in order to make some of these fights as well. With that being said, I think Deontay's team had control of the Parker situation, and I think Deontay may have felt in his body, in his mind, that Matchroom was making offers, but there wasn't real offers considering the magnitude of the fight. But guess what? It's still an offer. It's still an attempt. It still makes you a lie in a sense. So, I mean, hey, what can I tried. I'm going to work. I love Wilder. I don't want to throw no salt on his name, but that's just a lie. We're going to see who's the best fighter in the world on Saturday. just in case you don't do a show on Friday, Ralphie, I'm right calling it Deontay Wilder anywhere between 8 and 10 KO or TKO.
Okay. That was
Peace, Phil.
what do you say, big boys?
I said peace, Phil, because he's out of here.
Oh, you out of here
All
now,
right,
Phil?
man.
Okay. That was
you guys,
Phil.
man.
Yeah, man. Much appreciated, Phil. Much appreciate you stopping by and giving perspective from across the pond. Much appreciated. That was Phil Walker. Thank you. Much thanks. Okay. So as we proceed, so what do we say? What are we talking about? We're talking about Deontay Wilder. Well, for me, it was a bare-faced lie. It's crazy. It's like propaganda. It's like, I studied history in school, and it was like propaganda when we studied German. I don't know if Heinrich Schmitz is around here. Heinrich Schmitz, sorry about this, my friend, but we're gonna have to study. So we studied some German propaganda in the wartime, and they had postcards. They would make postcards. They would have flyers, posters on the walls, etc., etc. Allegedly saying things that were totally untrue about the so-called enemies, and they drummed it into the people so much that was all they knew. All they knew was propaganda. And seems very clear to me that what's happening here in that interview with Deontay Wilder, a clip which I just showed you. Go check my video after the show or at your convenience. What's happening here, it seems to me, is clear propaganda with a total and flagrant disregard for the truth. Total and flagrant disregard for the truth. Big Boys Boxing.
Yeah, that's what it is. Totally. I'd just like to touch on something that Phil said there about Wilder making offers for the sake of saying he made an offer. I have an inside source. The offer he made to Joseph Parker was $750,000 for a unification match. Now, when he was offered, what was the first one? $12 million to fight Joshua.
Yeah.
His words were, "That's such a low ball offer. He doesn't really want the fight." Now that applies to him as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, has to.
So he's walking around telling lies, saying what he wants to say, and he expects everybody for him to speak it, them to hear it, and everybody to believe it.
Yeah.
Not receive it, just believe it.
Yeah, it's totally madness, total madness. Red Glove Militant up in the building. Support the channel, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if you can do without a cup of coffee one day, and you can hit that PayPal button, link is in the description box. And I forgot, sometimes I read messages and forget to address them. I forgot in the last show, somebody asked me, I think it was Vincent, you said, can we do a test with your headphones? Sorry, I forgot to respond to you, Vincent, but for sure, if you're ever on in the earlier part of the show, one of the shows, yeah, for sure, come on through and do a test. And I think somebody else mentioned, do I accept or could you donate via, what was it he said, Google Pay? I don't know. No, the answer is no at the moment, but I will certainly look into that. And if possible, I could add that as one of the options. So I'll look into that. Thanks to whoever made that question. I got a private message. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Big Boys Boxing has to leave the building right now. So yeah, much appreciation to Big Boys Boxing and Ames. Both got their own channels. Go and check them out. Thank you very much, Big Boys Boxing.
Peace, y'all. See ya.
All right, take care now. Okay, so I'll drop a link in the chat. Paste that. Boom. There's a link in the chat. That, okay, so if you want to jump on, anybody wants to jump on, feel free to do so. Okay, so Cal L in the building. What's going on? This Fury Wilder is bigger than Klitschko Fury. because many fans felt Klitschko too boring, hence not as much interest. Well, I think many fans feel that both of them had unscintillating styles, and I think most people thought that Klitschko was going to win. Pure and simple. There was not much buzz before the fight. People just thought Klitschko was going to win. I included. I too thought Klitschko was going to beat Tyson Fury without much problems. But it was very much a surprise. And let's remember, even after the fight, when Fury won, there was still the belief, the feeling, the general consensus that it was one hell of a boring fight. So there was no buzz around that fight before the fight, during the fight, or after the fight. And of course, that was around the time when Tyson Fury was failing PED tests and failing other drug tests. So, yeah, the buzz was low. AJ Vladimir is bigger because AJ is well promoted. Yeah, AJ Vladimir was a bigger fight, much bigger fight. One, it was happening on UK soil. Two, Joshua was a champion. Joshua went into that fight as a champion. Tyson Fury didn't go into that fight as a champion. So it was champion versus a champion who was deposed by someone who subsequently got banned for PEDs. Let's not forget that. Okay, so where are we? Klitschko was a champion for 12 years over 2 reigns. Longest collective reign in history, indeed. Bob Arum said it's imminent. The only way it won't happen is if one of them pull out. What's imminent? Well, unification? Klitschko versus Fury was boring. Klitschko versus Joshua. Klitschko versus Joshua was fight of the year. Yes, indeed. Many people were talking about that as fight of the decade. Many people. Smash that like button, folks. Yeah, I've mentioned that in the past. I think I mentioned that in a recent video. If Wilder wins this fight, the second fight, and Tyson Fury wins the third fight, then that's just 1.5 fights per piece, or 1.5 per piece. Each man has won 1.5 fights because one was a draw. So what happens then? What happens if one guy wins the second fight and a different guy wins the third fight? It's still a draw. It's still 1.5. So then they're going to have a tie break. Because which man is going to want to walk away at 1.5? And of course, the guy who wins the second fight, the trilogy fight, he's then the champion. So what if Fury wins the trilogy fight? What if Wilder wins this fight, the second fight, and Fury wins the trilogy fight? Do you think Deontay Wilder's just going to go, okay, there you go, champ? I don't think so. They probably got another clause in the contract for a fourth fight, as Big Boys Boxing states. So don't be surprised if there's a fourth fight. Do not be surprised. Yep. Fury wants the WBC belt so he can add it to his collection, then retire. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I've said it. I said it before. Okay. I'm gonna have to catch that presser after the show. Don't be surprised to see a video of it tomorrow. Plenty of trash talking. Well, thank you very much. Always try to bring you the news with an entertainment angle. There's an entertainment aspect. Fury's claim to fame was beating Klitschko. Other than that, nothing much to talk about, says Phil Carl Roberts. With some validity. AJ is losing relevancy, says Cristiano Wu. He has to fight Wilder or Fury before he becomes, I think you mean, relevant. Really? The Unify? So the Unified champion has to fight Fury or Wilder to become relevant. I think, no disrespect, but I think you are crazy. The guy who's fought multiple champions to become a champion, or the guy who fought multiple champions to become Unified champion, has to fight guys who have never unified or unified once at the end of this after long careers. No, I think you will find that he is highly relevant. And I'll go as far as say the Unified champion in this instance is the most relevant. He took a belt off Martin. Yeah, he took a belt off Martin, but why didn't somebody else take a belt off Martin? Yeah. He's the weakest of the three, but has the best. Last King of Scotland says Joshua is the weakest of the three, but then I say, well, how is it that he has the strongest resume of the three? How does that work? How does that work? Martin, Parker, and Wilder, and Vladimir, who didn't even have a belt when AJ fought him. Or at least he fought him. Deontay Wilder wouldn't. AJ has yet to fight the top opponents in his division. AJ has been fighting the top opponents in his division, is my response to that. He's got the best, that's how he's got the best resume. That's like it is. Is Marcellus Wilder moving up to the heavyweight division? But I don't know. I mean, Tyson Fury has given him the blueprint to strengthen his chin. Tyson Fury has come out with a recommendation on how a man can strengthen his chin. So I don't know. Maybe before Marcellus Wilder moves up to heavyweight, maybe he should try the Tyson Fury method of jaw strengthening. I don't know. I'm not saying he should. I'm not saying he shouldn't. Those were all Fury's belts, indeed, but he was failing drug tests around that time. Some say he should not have been in the ring with Vladimir Klitschko because he failed drug tests prior, and he should have been on a suspension. Vladimir Klitschko's side say they didn't know. They didn't know he'd failed, and if so, they would not have granted him the privilege of sharing the ring with the champion when he should have been on a drug ban. Martin indeed was a champ. He's moving up from cruiser to heavyweight soon. Like I said, he's got to employ the Tyson Fury method of jaw strengthening. They offered peanuts to Parker and Martin, indeed. That's why it didn't work out too well for them. Philly Carl Roberts' response to Cristiano Wu. Vladimir has the longest ever reign, though. And just to add to that, Wilder waited till Vitali retired and avoided Vladimir after he beat Stavern. Too dangerous for Wilder. Yeah, seems like he was suspended. Man down. What happened? I don't know. Maybe I forgot to pay my electric bill. Obviously, after Wilder got KO'd in sparring with 18-ounce gloves and a padded helmet from Klitschko, he wasn't going to fight him. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Why would you want to fight a Klitschko who just knocked you out in 18-ounce gloves? I don't know if they were 18-inch, but it was certainly 18-ounce. I don't know. I think the footage is good. You know, Rafi using a bit of craftiness. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. Maybe Wilder actually believes his own BS. Vladimir can't exactly be called the longest reigning champion when he never fought the toughest opponents of his era. Vitali. His reign is half empty. I don't think he's obliged to fight his brother, my friend. Maybe it's that leaky defense and he's shipping too many punches, killing off Wilder's brain cells. 12 years over 2 rounds for Klitschko. Vladimir is the hardest puncher of the last 20 years, says God of War. Calling Vladimir the longest reigning champion is like calling AJ a Unify champ. It's an empty title because they never fought the best, says Cristiano Wu. But I come back to this and you still can't get past it. If Joshua's resume is not good, but it's better than Tyson Fury's and it's better than Deontay Wilder, then then where does that leave us? Where does that leave us? If Anthony Joshua's title resume is not good, which it is, then where does that leave Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder? Wilder won't fight for undisputed, and he isn't even related to Joshua, Klitschko or Fury when he had the titles. Damn, referring to the Vitali brothers there. He's a unified champ. Yes. Last king of Scotland. Wilder only fought Fury because he thought he was done. And he poo-pooed in his panties when Fury got up in the 12th round. The resurrection. The resurrection. Was it Goebbels, the propagandist? Yeah, Goebbels. If you tell a lie often enough, it becomes the truth. The saying went something like that. Yeah, just pumping out lies. And I think that's what Deontay did there, because there are a lot of people who don't know much about boxing who are going to hear the interview and think, damn, the man's been hard done by, talking about Wilder. And Big Boys Boxing, his prediction is Wilder via 9th round KO. I flip-flopped on this one. It's just, I can see it going both ways. I can see it going Wilder by points, Wilder by knockout or Fury by points. But I have to make BH. That was me about the Google Play. How about Patreon to donate? I don't yet have PayPal. Maybe I will. Okay, so I guess your online purchases, you make them via Google Pay. Google Pay. Okay, I'll have to look into that. Google Pay. So how do you make online purchases? What method of payment do you use for online purchases? I may have to look into Google Pay. Okay, thanks for the inquiry, BH. Fury is a better fighter than Klitschko, but Klitschko has a better legacy. I'll agree with that. By far. Fury won the title or titles and never defended them. Boom. To me, as a champ, you gotta defend. I mean, even if he'd have defended and lost, it would have been better than to never have defended, although that's arguable. I got Wilder by KO, 8 to 12 rounds. I think Pablo sent me a couple of articles, but I was at work, and then when I got home from work, all I had time to do was shower, eat, and get on live. Don't have much downtime whatsoever. Don't have much downtime. So I'll be checking out some links after the show. Might even bang out a video or make a video to bang out for tomorrow. But there's plenty of videos up there now for your delectation. Trilogy is imminent. I can see it in 10 years' time. Wilder versus Fury 23. Oh, man. Fury easily defeated Vladimir. He has 2 fights with Wilder. That's 3 fights against elite opponents. Nah, it's 3 fights. No, it's not opponents. Okay, that's 1 fight against Vladimir Klitschko, which he never defended. He never rematched. Never gave Klitschko the rematch, which to me that's a big asterisk. When you become unified and you don't give the man a rematch, that's a big asterisk, especially when you get banned from the sport or you retire, because you're gonna get banned. Yeah, so shouldn't have been in the ring in the first place. Oh, and I watched the rematch. I think I started telling you before. I watched the rematch. No, I watched the first fight again last night without any subtitles, so you had all the sounds of the fight without the commentary, I mean. And I have to say, it was a revelation to me. I changed my point of view. I thought it was a very even fight, but when I did the scoring for the fight last night, I had Tyson Fury coming out of it 2 rounds clear. 2 rounds clear. So that was a bit of a revelation to me. I thought it was very even, Steven. I thought it was very 50-50, but no. I watched it back again, and no, I changed my mind. I think Fury won that fight. Not that it matters. It doesn't change anything. But, yes, it does change something, because I saw that Vincent Grant. Vincent Grant, I can hear you breathing, so I know your mic's working. How do you do?
I'm fine, thank you, Rap. How's yourself?
I'm very good, my friend. I'm very good, my friend. We're coming on the tail end of the show, but it's good that you could jump on. Okay, so just going to go through some of these comments. Oh, first of all, yeah, what have you got to say about the fight in general? What's your thoughts? What's on your mind?
Well, as a long-time supporter of boxing,
Yeah.
I find Wilder very disturbing. You know, the political, background in which he's coming from, or that's supporting him.
Yeah.
You know, it's very frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, so and knowing Fury, the kind of background in which he comes from.
Yeah.
You know, I really think Fury is deadly serious about this fight.
Right. Yes. Well, I think he has to be. I think both of them has to be deadly serious about the fight, because one of these guys is going to lose their one of these guys is going to get the cherry popped. You know what I'm saying?
This is one of the main reasons why I'm calling her Rafi, because you see, I see this fight as the revenge of the cherries. Because I mean,
revenge of what?
Fury was the cherries.
Okay.
You know, because Fury was really and truly a cherry pick.
Yeah.
That to me is going to blow up in Wilder's face. You know?
It's going to blow up in his face. The cherry's going to burst in his face. Cherry's going to burst in Wilder's face. And I watched the fight back. And what I saw, to me, it's only going to take minor modifications on Fury. What I saw tells me that it's only going to take minor modifications. It's just minor modifications for Fury to win the fight. To me, having rewatched the fight, I had Fury now. I rewatched the fight without commentary. There was a broadcast without commentary. It said without commentary. I wouldn't have watched it otherwise, but that got me to watch it without commentary. Said, let me watch it without commentary. I've never watched it without commentary before. I watched it without commentary. And yeah, I probably watched it harder than I ever watched, more intently than I ever watched the first fight before. And I came out with Fury winning the fight by 2 rounds. I thought it was even, not after rewatching it without commentary. And I had picked Deontay Wilder to win via knockout in between the 6th and the 9th round. And now I'm not so sure. Controversial statement on my part, but I think that Tyson Fury, I saw him wobble. Deontay Wilder at least 2 times. If it's not a wobble, it was a stun. And that was a defensive Tyson Fury, largely defensive, but no, not fully defensive, because I saw Tyson Fury walking Deontay Wilder backwards. I saw him walking him down. And let's go to that last round. In the second half, people say that Tyson Fury came back in the 12th round after he got dropped. The first half of the round was Deontay Wilder's, and then he dropped Tyson Fury in the first half of the 12th round. And then I seem to recall a lot of people saying that Tyson Fury won the rest of the round. Even I thought that. And he may have done. But really what I saw in the second half of the 12th round was Deontay Wilder was exhausted. A lot of people, I haven't heard many people say that, but what I saw was an exhausted Deontay Wilder in the second half of that 12th round. And he had me thinking, well, a lot of people say that Deontay Wilder's got a good gas tank. And yes, he appears to have a good gas tank, but he gets tired as well. And he was exhausted. This is what I'm saying. He was exhausted in that last round. So, yeah.
Well, Rafi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you can hear me, Rafi, yeah?
Yes. Okay, so Big Boys Boxing says, so if they weren't Tyson's belts, they still belong to Vlad, who Joshua beat the very next fight. Either way, you look at it, those belts are AJ's. Yeah, indeed. It's not Joshua's fault that neither Wilder or Fury have refused all of Joshua's offers. Got a bit fiery in the chat too. yes. And yeah, well, it does get a little bit fiery from time to time. The testosterone is high. I've got a multi-bet on the card, Washington to win over Martin. Yeah. Washington. No, I've got Martin winning over Washington, and Wilder to get the KO between the 9th and the 12th rounds. Okay. Maybe I have to put a little bet on. What's going on here? I don't know. I think I must have missed something. Vincent Grant, if you're there, speak up, my friend. Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury. Oh, gosh. So what's that? Ben Fieldman announced as one of the judges. He's bad news, corrupt, or incompetent. What's Ben Fieldman's darkest hour or brightest hour? Which one? While they're spitting out cherries like the witches of Eastwick. Yeah. What is that? I don't know what it is. Wilder wins via 10th round KO, though. I'm expecting a great fight. Yeah, I picked Wilder to win in between the 6th and the 9th. I don't know how it's going to go now, though. After rewatching the fight, I saw Tyson Fury was bossing him at times. And I don't think it would take that much more for Tyson Fury to put a little bit of extra pep on some of them punches. I think you might see. My bet was Deontay Wilder 6th and 9th. I don't know. Tyson Fury won that fight in my book after watching the fight again without commentary. So I don't know. I don't think it'll take much more from Tyson Fury to win that fight. I'm going to put 2 bets on. 1, Wilder beating Fury in between 6 and 9 by KO. And the second bet is that Tyson Fury beats him by points. I'm going to split my bets. I'm going to hedge my bets. I bet makes it more exciting. No, I'm not an addictive type. There are very few things that I'm addicted to. I'm not addicted to anything that's bad for me. Okay. I think Vincent had some technical issues still. Never mind. We'll get there. We will get there, Vincent. Martin went off the rails a bit 2 years ago. He wasn't staying in shape. Yeah, I got Martin winning. Maybe I'm going to have to get in on the betting on this one. Get to the bookie shop. Yeah, I'm old school. Get to the bookie shop and lay down a bet. But I'm going to be hedging my bets on the Fury fight because I can see it going 2 distinct ways. And after watching the fight again without commentary last night, I can easily see Wilder outpointing Wilder. I can see it. I can see this fight going down either way. Is there anything else that I want to say? I don't think so. I don't think there's anything else I want to say right about now. Neither of those bets will pay well, Rafi. Hedging a low odds bet with another low odds bet will see you break even. Damn, that's not good then. That's not good. That's not good at all. Yeah, your device isn't connected, Vincent. Says your device isn't connected. So when I press the button, you don't come up. Something wrong with your device, my friend. My biggest addiction is to air. Can't get enough of it. Yes. I hear that very well. Okay. So it has been Boxing Talk with Rafi. Covered a bunch of subjects, and I've got a whole list of subjects I haven't touched on. But we're going to save that for another day and maybe save some of them for videos. Okay, so where are we? We've chopped it up thoroughly. Is there any aspect of the thing that I haven't touched that you want me to touch? No. We've done it. We've got through another one. This has been Boxing Talk with Rafi 97. Keep getting through them. Consistency pays. What can I say? Heading into the weekend. It's a big one. It's a big fight. Wilder, Fury 2. Am I going to do a Friday show? Might do a Friday show. Might do a quick Friday show, Friday evening. It's very possible. So look out for Boxing Talk with Rafi 98 on Friday. You never know. And for sure we're gonna have to do a show to cover the show itself. Oh yeah. Well, let's touch on that then. Let's touch on the Billy Joe Saunders then. Because it's one of the topics that I had up here I didn't know you want to change topic at the 11th hour, but let's do it anyway. Where is it? Is that it? Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so it's closing in. Boxing news. Canelo Alvarez versus Billy Joe Saunders. Almost done. Almost a done deal, according to Billy Joe Saunders' managers, MT Global. Okay. Billy Joe Saunders is on the verge of securing a dream fight against Canelo Alvarez on May the 2nd, according to his MTK Global managers. Several reports have emerged in recent days suggesting that the Brit is now a firm front runner for the Canelo fight. And this is now being confirmed by MTK's Jamie Conlon. Okay, Conlon told Sky News, Billy Joe is in pole position. We believe everyone is on the same side in terms of what the fight needs. What needs, contractual needs there are to get the fight made. It's highly likely that the fight will be made. There are still some issues to be ironed out. However, both fighters appear to want it. Both camps want it. Everyone seems to be on the same page, or a very close page at the very least. We just have to hit the right number. They gave us an initial deadline, but the negotiations are at a point where there's no point backing out now. We're nearly there. We're almost there. Okay, so Canelo Alvarez reigns supreme as boxing's pound-for-pound king today, having held legitimate world titles as super welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, as well as the WBA regular belt, that's super middleweight. The Saunders fight will provide Canelo with the opportunity to become a bona fide 4-weight world champion, as Billy Joe currently holds the WBO super middleweight crown. Okay, so what's going on there then? So it looks like the Billy Joe Canelo thing is getting closer. And yeah, that's a fight that I've wanted to see for years. And it's good news that it looks like it's getting closer. Perhaps the Canelo guys initially lowballed Billy Joe. But if the reports are correct, then yeah, it looks like we may get that fight within the next few months, and that would be awesome. That would be awesome. No, it's not too late. Get into it. You go into a club, take it easy. You get into it, just take it easy. Don't get into no crazy sparring wars. You just go down there and just take your time and train. Yeah, no problem at all, Vincent. You'll get it. You'll get there. We'll get there. As long as you got your headphones and the mic works. You sounded a bit distant, so there's something going on with the mic. The mic ain't right. The sound ain't coming through right, but keep trying and you'll get there. You'll come up with a crispy studio sound. If you just listen back to the segment when you were on, you'll see that the sound sounded distant. So there's some mic issue going on there. There could be some other issue, but you take your time and eliminate the problems one by one, and you will get there. Yes, so 18 certainly is not too old to start boxing. I think that's when AJ started. You never know. You never know how far you can get. Just take your time. Just do the training. Don't get into any crazy sparring. Learn how to keep your guard up. Learn evasiveness. Your guard up, chin down, and study the greats. Study the great evasive fighters. That was my recipe. Learn to be evasive so you can feel safe in there. Be safe. Don't let anyone threaten your life in sparring. Be safe. Chin down, tuck down to your chest so your eyes are focused on your opponent, your guard high, and study the defensive greats. Learn to parry and learn to step back and learn to circle out and learn the jab. Jab, chin tucked, high guard. Learn to step back and circle out and jab some more. Yeah, but focus on defense so that if you're ever in a sticky position, you have certain defensive tools to fall back on. Once you have that, then you can feel comfortable in the ring. That's what I say. Yeah. If Billy Joe comes in form showed against Lemieux, Canelo will be made a fool of. Yeah. It's a fight I've been looking forward to for some time. Learn to dirty box because it's part of the game. Well, that's a good point. Learn to grip and hold. Wind the clock down. That's another good thing. Not just about the slipping punches and the moving. Sometimes you just get tired. You just have to hold on for dear life and catch your breath. Yeah, go for it. Nice and steady, slow and steady wins the race. Okay, so we got that one off. We shot that one off too. Okay, so it's Raphael Dawkins. Don't be surprised to see a show on Friday, but don't expect it. But don't be surprised. And for sure, looks like we're going to have to cover the live fight, even though they're charging 25 pounds. 25 pounds. Okay, so it has been. It has been Boxing Talk with Rafi. What is it? What's the number? 70. Where's the number? 97. My bad. Boxing Talk with Rafi 97. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. The link to follow me on Twitter is in the description box. Feel free to hit that. Feel free to hit the PayPal button. It's Boxing Talk with Rafi. It's been another good one. Thanks to everyone who jumped on. We had Big Boys Boxing. We had Marla. We had Take Ames. We had the Phil Walker from over there in Big Texas. And Big Boys Boxing, Marla, all the crew. And Vincent Grant tried to get on. Jab is going to win this fight for Fury easily. But I think he'll be going with the 1-2s. So that wraps it up. Kal-El says, excellent show. Salute Raphael and the Combat Radio family. And I concur. And with those words, so it's the Kal-El. It's the Philip Carl Roberts. It's the Vincent Grant. It's the Big Boys Boxing. It's the Cristiano Wu. Who else we got? It's the Browdis. The last king of Scotland. The Phil Walker. The Kal-El. Who did we have earlier on? We had the Pablo Diablo. We had the God of War. And who do you have? Tiny Tim was in the building. And who did we have earlier on? We had the Monique Thompson, the Shiz Biz, and the BH, and many, many more. And with that, say look out for the live shows. Look out for the videos. Have a good week. Looking forward to the fight. But most of all, don't forget to stay safe. And of course, my final words to you is blessed.